Chapter 1. The Secret Club. The stifling humidity of Bangkok's summer hung thick in the air, clinging to Nisha's skin as she hurried through the crowded school corridors. Her heart raced with a mixture of fear and determination, her backpack feeling heavier with each step. Glancing around nervously, she slipped into an empty classroom and closed the door behind her, locking it with a quiet click. Nisha wasn't alone. 3 other girls, their expressions equally tense, waited for her. Pong, the privileged son of a powerful government official, sat perched on the edge of a desk, his brow furrowed. Saowanee, the school's top student, paced the room, her fingers anxiously twisting the hem of her blouse. And in the corner, Jintana, a devout young woman from a deeply religious family, sat with her head bowed, her lips moving in silent prayer. "You're all here," Nisha breathed, her relief palpable. She pulled a chair close and joined the others, her hands trembling slightly. "We have to do this," Saowanee said, her voice laced with a sense of urgency. "If anyone finds out, it'll be the end of everything we've worked for." Pong nodded, his normally confident demeanor uncharacteristically subdued. "My family. They'll disown me. I can't let that happen." Jintana raised her head, her eyes glistening with unshed tears. "And my parents. They'll never forgive me. I've brought shame to our family." Nisha reached out and squeezed Jintana's hand, her own heart aching with the weight of their shared predicament. "We're all in this together," she said, her voice soft but resolute. "We have to protect each other, no matter what." The 4 students had been united by an unthinkable circumstance. They were all pregnant. In the conservative social climate of 1990s Thailand, where teenage pregnancy was viewed with utter disdain, the consequences of their situation could be devastating. Nisha, a brilliant scholarship student from a poor family, knew that revealing her condition would jeopardize her chances of a better life. Pong's privileged upbringing hung in the balance. The political legacy of his powerful father threatened by the scandal of an unexpected child. Saowanee, the school's top student, feared that her academic future and the institution's spotless reputation would be irrevocably tarnished. And for Jintana, the deeply religious young woman, the pregnancy had shaken the very foundations of her faith. Bound by their shared fear and the need for secrecy, the 4 students had come together to form a secret club, a haven where they could support one another and find the strength to navigate the treacherous waters ahead. "We have to be careful," Nisha said, her voice barely above a whisper. "If anyone finds out, we could lose everything." The others nodded solemnly, the gravity of their situation weighing heavily on their shoulders. "That's why we need to be vigilant," Saowanee said, her eyes narrowing with determination. "We can't trust anyone, not even the teachers. We have to watch our backs at all times." Pong ran a hand through his hair, his expression troubled. "My father has eyes and ears everywhere. If he finds out, I'm finished." Jintana clasped her hands together, her knuckles turning white. "And my parents. They'll never understand. They'll disown me, and I'll have nowhere to go." Nisha felt a wave of empathy wash over her. She knew all too well the fear of losing everything, her education, her dreams, her family's meager support. The stakes were impossibly high, and the consequences of failure unimaginable. "We have to stick together," Nisha said, her voice steadying. "No matter what happens, we can't let this tear us apart. We're in this fight for survival, and we have to be stronger than the world that's trying to crush us." The others nodded, their expressions hardening with resolve. In that moment, a silent bond formed between them, a pact sealed by the shared burden they carried and the determination to protect their fragile futures. As the 4 students huddled closer, a plan began to take shape, a web of lies and secrecy that would shield them from the judgment of their peers, their families, and the institution that threatened to cast them aside. They would need to be vigilant, always on the lookout for prying eyes and wagging tongues. Their lives, their dreams hung in the balance, and they would do whatever it took to ensure their survival. The classroom felt heavy with the weight of their predicament, but the students' spirits refused to be extinguished. They were fighters, survivors, and together they would forge an unbreakable bond, one that would be tested and forged in the crucible of their shared ordeal. As they stepped out into the bustling hallway, their faces masked with carefully crafted expressions of calm, the students knew that the true battle had only just begun.